1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, besties. Welcome back to another episode of I Am Besties. I'm your host, Vanessa, joined by my lovely, beautiful, gorgeous co-host, Stephanie.
That was a nice introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's finish this.
So we got some champagne today, courtesy of our boss, Saul, because we got some good news. And I don't know if we're allowed to share it yet. Probably not.
I don't know. Probably not. But it's good
But
news.
you will know.
Yeah.
Maybe soon. And yeah, we're celebrating. So cheers
to more success.
Yes. And thank you guys for supporting. All of this is possible thanks to you guys listening and tuning in and supporting and just being the best fucking, what do we call you, besties ever. Love you guys. So this is also thanks to you guys.
This is for them not letting people cancel us when we make a mistake.
Yeah. So honestly, if you guys have a bottle of water, a juice, a beer, whatever you have on you, raise it in the air, chug it, throw it back.
Me, I already finished it. Damn, that's a lot. Chug it.
Waiter. Waiter. I love that movie.
I feel like I haven't watched SpongeBob in so long, which is crazy because I feel like I'm always like that one episode in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But I haven't even seen it in years.
Yeah. I think it's so funny because like I've played it for Ezra and I'm like, Ezra, you're going to love this. Like sit down. It's going to be amazing. And then he'll walk off after like 2 minutes. And I'm there like, oh my God, I'm like super into it. Like
I hate that when like you want to show a kid something and they're not as excited
they're
as
not
you.
amused. Yeah, no.
Did you have any friends? Because I had some friends that their parents didn't let them watch SpongeBob because like makes you gay.
Makes you gay?
Yeah, like they used to say that like watching SpongeBob would make you gay.
How on earth would that make you gay?
I don't know, but I was always like,
because there was a healthy, loving relationship between two male best friends.
Oh my God, so true.
Patrick and SpongeBob were like the sweetest, most realest best friends on earth. Like,
I think they just thought SpongeBob was gay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think necessarily with Patrick. I think just because he was like fruity and cute and like just super sweet and emotional.
Loving to his friends. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very sensitive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fucking stupid.
I love SpongeBob.
I think all men should have relationships like SpongeBob and Patrick.
And also like Squidward and SpongeBob. Because I think Squidward needed SpongeBob to soften him up a little bit. I don't think he would have gotten there.
But I wouldn't consider them friends.
Yeah, because SpongeBob loved him at the end of the day. It was just Squidward being a little hater bitch, you know what I mean? Like SpongeBob never gave up. He didn't even notice. Like he was just like, oh, this guy's like, like I am.
Like he was really unfazed by Squidward's bitterness.
Yeah, and eventually at some point Squidward would like literally soften up. Yeah. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of like guys that I know, their friendships, like they don't really call each other out on anything.
Oh yeah, I've seen that happen a lot.
You know what I mean? Like even if they mess up or if they're doing something insane, they're like, well, like that's none of my business.
Yeah.
And I think that's super weird. I feel like as women, we're always like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to have someone who pushes you like to soften up a little bit.
Yeah. And honestly, if any of you men are out there listening, if you don't have a friend like that in your life, try it out. Maybe you call a friend out or, you know, in a loving way or whatever and just see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Be vulnerable. Like, take that step to kind of deepen a connection with a friend because you might be surprised. Maybe they'll take it well and you'll feel closer to that friend. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it'll go really bad and don't take it personal. You could just be like, okay, like maybe this friend is not for me or maybe this is not a friendship that's going to be that deep. You know, it's just going to be like a surface level kind of.
I love seeing like guys in really, I guess, close relationships with friends. It's just so sweet.
Like I'm watching the show right now called The Vikings. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it.
I literally just clicked on it and I was like, I wonder what this show's about. And it said something about like some guy avenging his mom.
You should watch it.
Okay, I will.
Avenging his mom?
That's what it said in the description.
No,
wait, that's the Northman, I think.
Yeah,
wrong. Yeah. I was looking through the Viking shows because I like Vikings.
No, yeah, this one's really good. It's just the Vikings and there's like a group of men and there's like 2 girls in there too, but it's like a lot of men and the way they embrace each other like before they go to war And when they come back for more, like they hug each other, they kiss each other. And these are the most like manliest fucking men on earth. Like literally could rip your head off, kill people. Like they're so like brave and strong and like manly as hell, ripped as fuck. And like they literally gaze into each other's eyes. And they literally like the way they show love towards each other and consider their friends family and speak like so highly of each other with love and embrace each other. I'm like, that is so sweet. Like
I wonder. Because essentially it's the same thing like men who go off to war when they're in situations where it's like traumatic. That's when they start to kind of let those like they're like, oh, you know, like tell my family I love them and this and that. But it's so hard. Like if it's not in a situation like that, I don't think they like break to that point. So I feel like because in the Vikings, because obviously like in those times you were always on the verge of death. Yeah. So I think that closeness was just like a way to kind of keep going, like staying alive. Because I always think of even people who had like long distance relationships during wars or anything like that. I'm like, how do you keep that love alive? Like you kind of have to move quick with it, or like even like when you write each other notes and stuff, like you have to literally pour your soul into it because this is the last. This could be the last thing you're gonna say to that person.
And I also think back then. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure love had its challenges back in the day as well, you know?
Oh, of course.
But I don't know why, for some reason, it felt easier back in the day. Like, I feel like there wasn't as many games. It was just like, I feel like I love you, so I'm going to tell you, like, I love you, and I'm going to pour my heart out to you, and I'm going to let you know, and, like...
I think it just goes back to the fact that now, like, there's endless options.
Oh, of course.
You know, like, there's just availability at any disposal to, like, change your partner.
Yeah. That's insane.
I know. I just think it's insane how many people we like come across now. Because if back then your brain would put strangers in your dream, like think of the amount of people that you are still engraved in your head and you're just like watching in your sleep. Because of how many like, I hate that. Because you're in somebody else's dreams.
I know.
Like that's crazy.
I wonder if I've ever been like the main character in someone else's dream that like that doesn't know me.
100%.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. Like they're probably like, dude, I had a dream about this girl. Like she was so beautiful and tall. I don't know where I've seen her, but I don't even know. I think I just dreamed her up.
She must be fake. She can't be real.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, I think it's funny when I think about that. That theory of how, you know, it's hard for people to pick or to settle down because there's just endless options. I'm always like, what the hell? Like, I feel like I have none. Like, in the sense of, like, maybe I've just been out of the dating game for so long. Maybe just people think that I'm still with my baby daddy, even though I say, like, I'm not. Or whatever reason, or my mother, whatever. Like, I just haven't. No one really has like approached me to try to like date me, and I'm like,
but I also
like I've met people and I'm like, that's crazy, like no one wants to date me.
I don't think it's that. I think right now everybody has been with their partners for a long time, so I feel like we're approaching an era where people are gonna start kind of like separating, exploring, or like even like men, they start to mature a little bit more. But I think a lot of people tend to stick to their for long term
to what they know.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like in our like 30s, like you're definitely gonna see, like hopefully you're not, you know, you found your love by that. But I'm just saying, like I think once you're 30, like men are a little bit more put together on what they want, as opposed to right now, like finding true love or whatever is not really like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. What do you think? Like, you know what I mean? Guys, we went clubbing this weekend for Vanessa's birthday. What?
No, yeah.
What?
I got so drunk. I did not expect to get that drunk.
I told you I was going to get you drunk.
You did. Were you with me the entire time? I felt like I lost you for a moment.
No, dude, you kept leaving. You were like, I'm going to find the guy that's going to buy us drinks. And I was like, Vanessa, I'll buy you drinks. And you were like, no, I'll be back. And then I have no idea where you were. And then I was with your friend. She was really cool, by the way.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, she was real cool. And then I think we were like dancing for a little bit. And then I don't know where the fuck she went. And then that's when I went outside to talk on the phone.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, I had a great time.
Yeah, and I'm normally not a friend that runs away.
But I don't think you ran away. I think you were just, I don't know, because the club was small, so it didn't really feel like I was losing you or anything. But I've never
done that. That's why I'm like, what the fuck? I've never been one to leave my friends. That was literally the first time I've ever done that.
I don't know. I didn't feel like, because normally I don't like when people leave me, but I didn't feel, and then you didn't leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was with your friends.
Yeah.
And they were cool. And your sister was there, and, like,
yeah.
Olivia
But
was there.
I just kept thinking, I was just like, what the heck? Because I do remember, like, not being with all of you guys sometimes. So I was like, where was I going? Like, the night is, like, blotchy.
I don't know.
The night was blotchy for me. Like,
but I also didn't want to be like, where are you going? Because, like, the fuck's none of my business.
You should have.
As long as you didn't leave, that was my only thing. Yeah. But I didn't think you were going to.
No, yeah, it was a good time, though. I had fun. We danced a lot, you guys.
The DJ was playing really good music.
Yeah, the music was really good.
Yeah.
It was good vibes. I wouldn't have wanted to spend it with anyone else.
I know, I had a good time. You guys should have seen Vanessa's feet at the end of the night. It was like comedy. They were
so swollen. And dude, you guys, I have to wear heels at work for my uniform. They're not big heels, but still, like, I wear heeled shoes. And you know, I feel like my feet already got used to it. Mm-hmm. But I do like to let my feet rest on my time off. And I worked Saturday and I got off at 10 a.m. I slept and then I got ready for the club that night. Mm-hmm. So I put on heels and they were brand new. I didn't break them in.
Oh, hell
so
no.
Literally, you guys, my feet were like, they were just going through it. They hurt so bad, and it was the worst mistake ever. I should have worn these other cute little heels that I had. They would have fit just fine, but I wanted them to match my new purse.
No, and she looks so fucking good. Thank you. Honestly, like, the fit was everything. You looked so good.
Thank you.
Do you put your feet up, like, in la noche? Like, when you're done with work?
What do you mean?
Like your legs against the wall up?
No.
You should.
Yeah.
It's good for you, because if not, you're gonna get varicose veins.
Oh god, I already started to get some.
What
the fuck are you? Oh, we're talking about my party and my feet. I just, you know, everything for the fit. You know what I mean? Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. And you know what? I had a mental breakdown before my birthday. And I told you a little bit about it, but let me tell the besties about it. I had a mental breakdown, you guys, because every year for my birthday, I've always been the one to reach out to my friends. Like, what are we going to do? My birthday's coming up. Like, and normally it would revolve around just getting drunk and going out and just drinking. This year was different, though. This year was different, all right? This year was different. I'll explain how later.
It was, because that wasn't the original plan.
It wasn't. But, so and I also spent my birthday with, like, people that were a lot of, like, acquaintances. They weren't close friends. Like, I did have, like, my close friend, Val, there. But I always had, like, other people there that were just, like...
Just, like, little fillers to, like, enlarge the group.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I just always wanted to be out with, like, a bunch of people and party and get drunk. And, like, I was just young. That was, like, the phase I was in. Then I became a mother, obviously. My birthdays began looking different. But this year, I felt like I was really thinking about the relationships I had in my life and who I wanted to spend my birthday with. And I know that birthdays are technically just, like, another day, you know, and you should celebrate the people that you love always. Yeah, I know. I
hate when people say that.
I know. But I just always have yearned to have my birthdays surrounded by people that I felt truly, like, connected with, and, like, I felt like I wholeheartedly loved. And I always yearned to feel celebrated and not feel like I had to worry about my birthday. You know, like, I've always wanted my friends to be like, or my family members to be like, we planned your day, like, don't worry about it, just get ready to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of family I grew up with, and that's not the kind of friends that I had either, you know? So every year, like, I found myself just always me planning, reaching out. And this year, I don't know, I've just been, you know, really taking into account who I want in my life and who I don't want. So I really just felt like I was really upset because I really just kind of realized, like, damn, like, most of the people in my life, I feel like, don't have the capacity to love me in the way that I want to be loved.
Yeah.
And it's not that I hold it against them or that, you know, I'm going to cut them off or anything like that. But it just made me realize kind of, like, how many missed opportunities I've had in my life to kind of have that love in my life, and just how I've played a role in allowing that, and
like kind of putting those walls up,
and also what I put up with, and I also not just that, but also the kind of, it made me realize the kind of friend I've been to others as well, so yeah, I was really crying because I was like, oh, another year where I'm gonna have to like, get my friends together and me plan everything, and it was just like really upsetting because, I'm tired of doing that. Like I just want to feel celebrated. I want to feel loved on. I want to feel like I'm important to the people around me.
As you should.
Yeah, and I just kind of had my moment, you guys. I kind of just let it out. I cried it out, but then you realize, you know what, like, I know that I have to start putting out the energy that I want to receive as well. Like I can't expect to be celebrated if I don't celebrate the people in my life either. You know what I mean? It's like what you give is what you get. And I also kind of took into account, like, okay, like this year I know I have been giving more love than like I've normally have in the past. And in the past, it wasn't that I didn't love the people in my life. It's just more of like I didn't realize how many ways there was to love on people, I guess for me, I've always just been one to say it with words, not really with actions. And now that I know what it feels like to want the actions, I'm like, okay, like I also want to start having more actions with the people like in my life, not just like talk about it. So I just kind of felt like I had a moment where I was really reflecting on my relationships and the kind of relationships I wanted to have in this new year in my life. And surprisingly, my birthday, my shift at work, I didn't work, but it was my shift the day before, and the day was going by so smooth. Like that Saturdays are normally like they're okay days for tips, and I made so many tips. I was surprised. Like I felt like everybody was giving me money left and right. I was shocked. I was like, what the heck? Like it feels like a gift from God.
100%.
That's crazy. Like
he's like, here, baby girl, don't be sad. Here's some money.
Here's some money. No, literally. And then not just that, but I'm very like talkative, and I crack jokes with my guests and stuff. And this guy had two like large like Starbucks, and then I recognized him. He's like one of my regulars, so like I felt more comfortable to like crack jokes with him, because sometimes you have to like see some people you can't joke with. They're like more serious. And I was just like, le dije en español, I was like, oh, nomás está aquí antojando la gente, and like we just started laughing and stuff. And he was like, oh, actually, he said, I'm gonna gift it to you. He was like, because he was like, honestly, he was like, I went to order one for myself, but they gave me two on accident.
Oh.
And he was like, and I didn't want to throw it away. He was like, it's a waste. So I was like, fine, I'll keep them both. He was like, but here, like, keep it. Like, I want you to have it. And I was like, oh shit. Like, okay, what are the odds, of that happening that day?
You know what it probably was, though? I think that because we had the conversation before your birthday, like you probably, because you said that's what you wanted, the universe was like, you know what, like here's some like nice little,
and
like
it
throughout
felt
the day,
that way.
throughout your day,
and it really felt that way.
Yeah, like little gifts.
Yeah, it really did. And all my coworkers were being kind. One of my coworkers gave me a gift, which was so random because they're new friends, like really, really new friends, and I felt really loved, and I felt really cared for, like at work that day, by strangers, by my coworkers, and it was really nice. And then I got out of work, and then I met up with you girls, and like it was super sweet, getting ready and like being with you guys. And
dude, I was like, okay, I don't want her to think that I'm like going nuts right now, like because I was going crazy about my fit. I didn't want you to think that I was like killing the vibe. I was just more of like, okay, bitch, like you're not gonna kill the vibe right now. Like whatever you're wearing when everyone's done getting ready, like that's what you're gonna walk out in. And I was like, oh my god, thank God, everybody's drinking, nobody's paying attention, because I was spiraling.
No, it's okay. I get it. We all want to look our best, and
it wasn't even about looking my best. I just think that like I don't have clothes to go out because I just started going out again. So it was just more of like, oh,
frustrating,
like putting something together. Like I had a nice skirt, but it didn't go with the shirt. And then I had a nice shirt, but I didn't have pants.
The fit you went with at the end, I think, was really
cool.
cute.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was slutty. Got the job done.
Oh my god, I love when your sister's like, Vanessa, your ass is out, and you were like, okay, good.
Yeah. No, that denim skirt was a moment. We love her.
It was. You looked so good. I was looking at my pictures, and because you know how it has a little live. 10-10. I'm gonna put a little snippet right here.
Okay. Wait, of me? We have some? Oh, send them to me.
Yeah, they're cute. I think so. You know what? I thought of right now too. I feel like it's not a problem necessarily. I guess only when you realize. I think when you have like, at least for me, I always had my specific friends that I didn't feel like I needed more because I was like, they're enough, and then at one point they're not there anymore, and you're just kind of like, oh shit, like because when you said like, oh, I think you said something like you could have connected more. I feel that because I feel like I could have connected with so many people, but because I already have my best friends, groups, I was like, no,
I don't
like,
need more.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that giving to this person was not necessarily taken away from the other friendship.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now when you said, because that's why when I met your friend, I was like, she felt so genuine.
Yeah.
And I think especially within women, it's kind of intimidating to try to make that connection.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's real or not. I don't want to say like fake. It's just more of like everyone's loyalty lies elsewhere sometimes. So when I met her, I think that's why when you left, like I didn't feel uncomfortable because she gave like such a let's dance,
a
like
girl's girl vibe.
Yeah, like let's have fun. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was cool. I had a good time.
Sasha, shout out to you. You're the sweetest. No, yeah, that's why I invited her because from the moment I met her, I was like, yeah, this is someone I want to have as a friend. And I've been having a lot of room in my life lately for new friends, so I just felt like she was a great one, so I was like,
yeah, and I feel like you deserve it, especially because I think women bring out so many beautiful sides of you, that kind of sometimes even when you're in a relationship, like just the person, it's not necessarily that they're lacking the skills to bring it out of you, but everybody brings something different out of you. So I don't know, I've been liking surrounding myself with a lot of women lately.
Yeah, I love that. No, and for me it's really like you said, I've had the same friend group for so long, and I just felt like I didn't need more friends. And also too, like you just have a lot going on, work, family. Like sometimes it's not that you don't want new friends; it's just like you really just don't have the time. You can only stretch yourself out so much, And that's how I felt for so long. But I feel like a lot of the friendships and relationships in my life have really been shifting, and I've been having more room in my life. For friendships, and I just feel like I'm in that phase where I want to deepen my connections with my friends, and I don't want it to be just drinking and partying and gossiping and like things like that. I want to be like seen wholeheartedly. I want be able to be vulnerable and to cry and say dumb shit, say deep shit, say like anything, and like that energy be reciprocated. And I want to feel supported, and I want to feel like I'm important to people, and like I have like a space somewhere in their lives, like I want people to feel that way in my life, and I want to feel that way in people's lives. And I understand that not every friend can be that level of a friend, I understand that there's different kinds of friends and
connections.
I understand, but I'm at a stage in my life where I want like deeper connections with friends, like,
and people read that too. I think that's what it is mainly. Like if you are being open with someone and they're kind of pushing a little bit back, then that's when you can be like, okay, well,
maybe
not
this
there.
Isn't.
Yeah.
No, so I kind of had that little crisis, guys, before like my birthday, but thankfully I had a great time thanks to all the girlies that went out with me for my bday. It was really nice. I had a lot of fun. I drank this time not to just like for the fuck of it. Like I was just genuinely like so happy and in the moment with my girlfriends, and it was really fun. And we were supposed to go to Disney the next day, but fucking Hurricane Hillary, thank you. She ruined it for us, but well,
for that mid-ass hurricane.
Literally, we could have probably still gone.
We 100% could have gone, honestly, but it's all right.
We'll go soon enough.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll go soon enough. But yeah, guys, it was really fun. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to see what God has in store for me in my life, in my friendship department, and in the love department. I have a date on Saturday, guys.
Yep.
With a cute Asian man, and I feel like I manifested him because low-key I've been watching a lot of K-dramas, and I don't know, I've just been like...
Are they long? Are K-dramas long?
Actually, no. They're always like one season or like... But they're like short, they're like limited series. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are. Some of them do have like 2 seasons.
Like telenovelas or something.
No, some of them do have like 2 seasons. Some of them do end like without a finale. So it just like depends. But I feel like for the most part, they're like limited series, like 1 season and it's done.
Like I can knock it out in like one.
Oh, for sure, one day. You should for sure do it. And they're super cheesy, super romantic. Like I've been eating that shit up. Like
I'm just not gonna sleep. I'm gonna take a té salud. But this one's for hydration and immunity, but the focus and energy one, 10-10.
That's the one you've been taking
That's
to
what
the
I've
gym.
been using a lot lately.
No, guys, and really, like, please don't believe that this is like an ad or
it is an ad.
But
it also,
is, but like, cause I know, because we're getting 10%, but no, like, genuinely, you guys, like, on my life, like, I wouldn't lie, say some shit like that. Like Steph actually does drink these all the time for the gym and just like on the day-to-day.
Yeah, they have lots of flavors. This is the guayaba one and it's fire.
Yeah.
We tried it in the last episode.
Yeah, it's
I
really
drink
good.
the pepino limon. But honestly, they're all so delicious. They have 400 milligrams of electrolyte. This one has 250 milligrams of Wellmune and 100 milligrams of elderberry. They're 1 gram of sugar. And honestly, they're just really amazing. Dairy-free, soy-free, no artificial colors or dyes. And they're honestly just so compactable. You can just throw a few of these in your bag and have them good to go for the day. So if you guys are interested, go to their website, tesalud.com, and get 10% off with the code, i.e. Besties, because you're going to need these.
No, yeah, they're really good. Most of the flavors I've tried have passed in my book. Yes. And I feel like that's hard, and that's hard for me to say because I feel like a lot of like those little packets like are not it. Like other brands, like the flavor is just not it. So
10-10.
They got the flavor and they got the job done with what it needs to do.
So
it doesn't.
Get yours today, ladies and gentlemen. Please. If he would do that for me, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like get you back into smoking.
Yeah.
That'd be very beneficial.
That would be a day, right? Maybe we should try for the Patreon. Look, the thing is that I just spaz the fuck out.
If you start, we should do it like in a locked room or like somewhere.
That's already giving me anxiety.
Where you can't leave.
That's giving me anxiety already.
If you start to have a panic attack, you'll do it in front of the camera and then we'll just speed it up.
What I will say though about panic attacks is that once it passes, I'm just like regular, like high chilling.
Oh my God, then just have like one little panic attack.
Just one. Just a little teeny tiny one.
Oh my God. I feel like because you say it so much, your brain is just like believing you.
But that's because I only say it so much because remember before I completely stopped, like I had tried it a couple of times and I just kept getting anxiety every single time. I wasn't going into it like I'm gonna get anxiety. I'm like, no, like I was genuinely like, no, like it was just like a one-time thing. Like I'm good. Like I smoke. You know what I mean? Like bitch, like I've been doing this shit for years.
Yeah.
And like I kept doing it, and every single time I was just getting anxiety. So I was like, what the fuck is up? Like, what the fuck is up? So eventually I was like, okay, I've already done it so many times and it keeps happening. Like I just have to stop, you know? And I did. I'm not gonna lie, I have enjoyed not spending so much money on weed.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have seen the benefits. Like I remember my dreams. I don't feel like groggy during the day. Like I feel like I have more energy. Like I do enjoy the benefits. But I do miss it once in a while, you know, like.
And that's fair.
Just like to relax. Like, oh, I just miss how I felt, how it made me feel. Like sitting, like watching the sunrise or out at night under the stars. Like just so nice. Or cracking up at everything or having the munchies and just like.
No. That's the munchies is literally the reason that I'm always like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. Because
really?
I feel like I'm good. And then it only happens when I'm at home, though. Like, if I'm at home and I'm smoking, I'm like, I should just eat everything in my kitchen. Yeah. And it makes me feel like I'm setting myself back in my, like, gym journey or whatever. Even though I'm not. Because I have, like whack-ass snacks in my house. Like, I have, like, corn and shit.
You're funny.
I make, like, fucking kale chips. But, like, in my head, I'm like, no, why did I eat so much?
That's hilarious.
Like, my munches is, like, tuna.
With mayo and corn?
And Ritz. Just a regular, good old healthy meal.
Yeah. It's extra protein and you're complaining.
I haven't ate all day. And I'm just kidding. But, like, sometimes I'll eat, like, 3 packets of popcorn. I don't know what it is with me and my yeast.
And the popcorn. That's crazy. I love popcorn, but I just hate how the little, like the kernels and, like, the little stuff, like, in the inside gets stuck in, like, my gums. It always ends up getting stuck in my gums, and it hurts so fucking bad.
Yeah, it low-key does hurt. But I think me and all my siblings have, like, a popcorn obsession.
Yeah.
Because we all really eat it a lot.
I went through a kettle corn
Yummy.
phase obsession. And they sold it at the night swap meet that is now canceled, by the way.
Oh.
The night swap meet is no longer a thing here anymore.
Where was it? The one on Valley?
No, that's a morning one.
Yeah.
But there was one on Mill, I believe it was, when you like go over the bridge and you would see it, like all.
I don't think I ever.
Yeah, I think here in Colton, I think it is. Literally, it was like a tradition for me and my family to go to that night. So me and walk, and like I would get kettle corn, and it was like the best shit ever. And now I haven't had kettle corn in so long, and I don't think that the store bought one tastes the same. Like not at all. Like it has to be made in one of those little booths.
Oh, 100%
at the swap meet,
or at a fair,
or at a fair, yeah, like or else it's not the same.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, like maize to me is just the best. Like there's a city in Nayarit called
Maize.
Imagine. No, what? I don't even remember what it's called. Halco? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, they sell like fresh like corn nuts. Dude, I used to go and I would get like a luggage, like a carry-on, and I would just pack that shit and I would bring it over here, like so I could snack on it here. Kind of like I do with my bananas from Mexico, like my dried bananas.
Oh wow.
But I just love it, and I love like caramelized popcorn with cheddar popcorn.
Okay.
Like the mix, you always gotta have 2 caramel, 1 cheese.
Okay. I haven't tried that. Sounds
good. It's a perfect combo.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people put like M&Ms in their popcorn.
Yeah, pretty much like sweet and salty.
Yeah.
It has to be very specific. Like I don't like mixing sweet and salty, but
I like the salad where it's like broccoli and like salad, and then it's like raisins and like the sweet stuff like that. Like it's like savory.
Like cranberries.
Yeah, and then it's like
that.
bacon. Like it's good.
I'm such a picky eater. I hate it. I wish I was like a mature eater where I could just like eat anything, but I'm such a little bitch, especially when it comes to salads.
Yeah.
Cause like I have a salad where it has like strawberries and chicken, and that is normal to me.
Yeah, that's.
But like
good.
Bacon in my salad with like nuts, like that just doesn't appeal to me at all, even a little bit.
No, yeah. Once you try it, I think you'll like it. My grandma makes it for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yummy.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe if we have a Friendsgiving, I'll take that. I'll ask her for the recipe. So.
Oh my gosh, I love Friendsgivings.
I know.
Isn't it crazy how we're like months like
away?
Like literally like
3 months.
We're closer to the end of the year than not.
Yeah. 3 months away from Friendsgiving.
Damn. That's insane. I hate that.
I know.
I feel like the summer has been weird too because it got hot so late and then the hurricane hit and now it's like hot again. It's been confusing my sense of time like in the year.
Do you feel worried about global warming?
Oh, 100%. But I also think that I don't think we're going to see the effects of it so bad as much as like our children's children. So it's just one of those things that like, man, sucks. And then I'm going to die.
Oh,
and then like the rest of the generations.
We're leaving the problems to the...
Yeah, exactly.
But like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it that much.
A lot of people that I talk to think like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy but also it's one of those things that I think so many big corporations blame us knowing that they're the whole problem.
That part, yeah.
And I think people don't care enough because it's not essentially going to happen to us that badly.
It's not directly affecting them.
Right. So I think it's something that it's inevitable to convince this many people that this is really happening.
Yeah, and it sucks because people like to say like, oh, like it's the corporations mainly, you know, that are polluting the earth, but who is supporting these corporations? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whose money is driving these corporations?
Exactly.
It's ours. And it's like we are just, you know, we've been this way for centuries. You know, we're conditioned to want comfort. We want comfort. We want things easy. We want to just go buy things.
Yeah.
You know, we don't care about looking at labels. We don't care about what the corporations have to do to get these products in our homes. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, just take my money and just turn.
And not even that, just with like the growth of like plastic and like the fact that there's an island in the middle of the Pacific that's just garbage. All of that is things that are real and everyone's just like, oh, that's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to convince people to get into action.
And I think that's why it's really important for the government or whoever is like secretly in power. I know it's like getting like conspiracy theory, but I love to. It's true, but like how you know, we are meant to be sick and like fighting and in problems and like mentally, emotionally, physically, like fucked, because I believe that if we all were well mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, our relationships were well, you know, our health was well, everything was great, we would then have the energy and like the space in our lives to be like really looking at what's going on and be like, okay, what can I do about this? You know, like my life's fine, you know, I have space, I have resources to be able to help in this situation, or you know what I mean?
And essentially it comes down to a lot of like the fact that they overprice healthy foods, the fact that they only put like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's in nice areas of the cities, like they don't put them in places that can be more accessible to, you know, those that are in more, I guess, just like, you know, can't afford those
underprivileged areas.
Yeah. And it's hard, especially, and it's especially hard to you know, how do you tell someone that's already struggling, like, oh, don't eat that?
Like people struggling to survive.
Yeah, like it's food that's accessible to them.
That living paycheck to paycheck.
Or even people who just eat fast food. Like there's literally a label when you're paying in the drive-through. Food contains chemicals that can cause cancer, and people are just like, oh, that's crazy. Anyways, you know, like it's little things like that that it's all at some point people are gonna be like, why didn't you tell us, or we should have done something. Yet like all the signs are there. You know, they're telling you, hey, this could kill you, and take it if you want. And everyone's like, okay.
I think it was like that other day when I told you, remember how, like, same thing with our makeup products, how there's a lot of chemicals in our makeup products that are like disrupt our hormones and, you know, can cause havoc on like our reproduction system and our skin and all of these issues. And we still just put it on because, you know, we're sold in this idea that it's going to make us more beautiful. Like, we're willing to trade in those harmful effects for beauty, for whatever we feel like it's going to provide for us. And it comes in a cute little bottle, cute little packaging, as opposed to if it was in a bottle with a skull on it and it was just like chemicals, and someone said, put your finger in here, grab some and put it on your face, you'd be like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put my finger in there.
And then they change the names of the chemicals to sound not as toxic as they really are.
Literally. Yeah, like, did you hear that BPA free actually... People think that that's good. That means like, oh, like no harmful chemicals in the plastic. But in reality, that just means that they took out the BPA, but they just replaced it with another chemical that is equally as harmful. It just has a different name. It's just, it's the same thing. It's just all marketing gimmicks. Like, it's all crazy. It's so crazy how, I don't know, it's just like, it's crazy to think that our government knows more about us than we know about ourselves, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Someone out there who has way more information even about our own lives.
Yeah, like about what it's like to be human, or maybe like powers that we might have, or...
Oh, like they know our full potential as like the human body?
Yeah, or not just that, but like... Or they know exactly what to do to kind of keep us like in a low state. You know what I mean? And... I mean, I know that the resources are out there. Like, it's, if we really, really wanted to, you know, get out of like being controlled, we could. But it's just crazy. It's like that. Why do we even have to work that hard to get out of being controlled? Like, it's so crazy to me that there's people really out there so greedy for money, for power, for a million other things that I probably don't even know of. And that they're willing to like say like, fuck the whole earth, fuck the human species, fuck everything. When if they weren't like that, everyone could just fucking live in peace and harmony, and like we could all be like thriving and just not stressed. You know what I mean? Like, not having to... No bills. Literally, like, no bills, just vibes. You know what I mean?
Like, give me some money.
Please. Like, no, actually get rid of money. Like, everything should be free. The fuck?
Oh my goodness, that is so funny.
Like, back in the days, people would just trade, you know? Or like...
But there were so many less people back then.
Was there?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We're like insanely... It's not even how many people, it's how many people fit in such a tiny piece of land. That's what blows my mind. I hate apartment buildings. Not necessarily like, obviously, you know, everybody can live wherever the fuck they want. I just think the concept of it, like the fact that they're maximizing so much like like such a tiny space. How many people live in Los Angeles?
And tiny buildings.
And it's all just like super like
tiny little
filled buildings.
Apartments.
Yeah.
In New York, have you seen those like New York tour apartments? And
exactly.
It's like literally a shoebox.
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that they compact that many people into one spot.
And the fact that people are willing to pay like over $1,000 for a little shoebox like that.
Dude.
Is insane to me.
I feel like if I was a little bit more reckless, not even reckless, I think just more, if I had been a little bit more sure in myself as an 18-year-old, I would have moved to New York. I think that would have been a fun experience.
That sounds fun.
My friend did that. Oh, Priscilla did that. And every time she would post or like she would just tell me about her stories, I would be like, oh my goodness, this sounds like the exact life I would love to live. Yeah. Because it just sounds so free. So I personally, I get the overpaying for rent in New York because I would love to live that.
Just want the experience.
Yes.
What do you think, like if you could imagine it, what would have been different about living over there?
I think just the culture, because there's so many, I think here it's very suburban. Well, at least where I grew up, and it was very suburban. And not so much as like LA, because I think LA's downtown isn't as walkable or accessible. Just the fact that you can get from point A to point B, like in the train stations, or I think it's just more. It's like a city, but also, oh my god, like a jungle of concrete. No, how does the song go? No, but I get it. You know what I mean? Because it's hectic and there's so much going on, but you can get everywhere so quickly underground, and I think it helps connect when you're having those. As opposed to here where like everything's in the car. So when you're in so many like public transport areas, you get to connect with more people. And I think people are more open to being themselves because they're so lost within so many people that it's not as intimidating to kind of be authentic. I feel like that's why people mostly go. In my opinion, I'm not really sure. But I think it'd be nice to be somewhere where you can be your most nuts and everyone's just like, oh, whatever, it's New York.
It's a normal day.
Yeah.
We've seen already like 10 people like that.
Exactly. I think that's cool.
How do you feel about people saying that it's like really fast paced? Like the moment you wake up, the moment you go to sleep, like it's go, 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 go. Like it just feels extremely fast paced. Do you feel like you would have been able to keep up with that vibe?
Yeah, I don't think I would have wanted to live there forever. I think it's just one of those things where it would have been nice to have that little time frame in my life.
Just like a little semester.
Yeah. Or just like a summer.
Just a summer.
Yeah, anything.
Nothing crazy.
Something just to get that real spark of like, wow, like this really,
like
people
really
rush. Because people live there forever.
Yeah.
Like their whole lives. And I hate this like, oh, fuck LA and fuck New York. Like I'm like, no, I love them. That's not true. I don't love LA. But I do love New York. Like, I just think it's cool. I think people are more authentic.
In New York?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We should go.
If I could have lived, I would love to go to New York, actually. If I could have lived anywhere, I actually would want to experience what it's like living in Mexico, where I'm born, where I'm from.
Interesting.
Just because I've always felt like life has always been more slow, more stress-free.
Yeah.
Just calm, relaxed.
And I think it goes back to what I was saying. Like, it's just, there's just a culture there. Like that.
And something about, and I think it also has to do with the way I saw my parents more relaxed out there when we would go, that I just always felt drawn to it. Because life always just felt very chaotic here in all aspects. And it was always so nice when I would get to go over there and the immediate switch up, like, you know. And I never understood why we couldn't have that here. Now as an adult, I do. But I would like to live over there and, you know, like if I could get like a work from home job and just go over there and work from over there.
You would want to live like in Mexicali?
I would try it out. Maybe Mexicali for a bit and then maybe move to different parts, you know, and just vibe out.
I would love to explore Mexico. I think that's one of like a life goal almost. Because I think it's so underrated. Not even necessarily in the sense where, because obviously it's very widely known, but I think there's so many beautiful spots that you would think are in elsewhere, like, I don't know, like Australia or, you know, places that have a lot of nature. I don't think people realize how diverse geographically Mexico is. Like there's snow, there's mountains, there's insane like rivers and just so much to see in Chihuahua and Oaxaca, everywhere, that people get caught up with like Cancun and Puerto Rico,
like the
Puerto Rico, Puerto Vallarta,
the tourist, even Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But I mean, Puerto Rico's not Mexico,
but still, it's like
yeah, exactly. Like, I think they forget that there's so many other places to explore in the same, even here in the United States, like Wyoming, Vermont. If you're not really from there, like, you don't know that there's insane things to look at. Like, I think Yellowstone is in Wyoming. Like, a lot of national parks that one wouldn't even know about if you weren't in the area, or if you weren't brought up in that kind of like camping culture.
I think one thing that I've been learning as I'm growing is I really have to take control of my life in my own hands, just because I wasn't raised in a certain way. Like, I used to always like tell my friends like, oh, I just don't travel because like my family never traveled. It's just not something that we did. I always thought traveling was like mega expensive until, a couple years back, I'm like, oh no, it's not. Like, you can actually have trips, like weekend trips, and do trips, and like it doesn't cost an arm and a leg the way my parents would make it seem growing up, and I just realized that life is out there for you to live it. Like, you don't have to be in a box and work a 9 to 5 and break your back all the time and just work. And like, you really, I know it sounds crazy, but like, it's really all our beliefs that keep us limited into just the work cycle.
100%.
Like, if you're constantly telling yourself like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to take a trip, or I can't afford a trip, or whatever, you're not gonna find the time or make the time or make the money to like go on these trips. And like my grandpa, for example, he has his own trailer, like a truck, I don't know what the fuck you call it, a trailer, whatever. He owns it. He's the owner of it. So he creates his own schedule. He gets paid more than like a regular like contracted like trucker driver would get paid, because he owns his own truck and stuff. So he has like, and it's just him and my grandma. Like, they don't have like any crazy bills or anything. Like, they live comfortably, but yet my grandpa is a workaholic. Like, he will not want to take vacations, and when he does take vacations, he can't really enjoy them because he's always thinking about having to work. And my grandma, it stresses her out because she's like, mija, like, your grandpa's already old, we're gonna die soon, like, we're in our 50s 60s, and like, when are we gonna be able to enjoy like,
they're young as hell,
but you know what I mean though, like, it's still not like 30 40, you know what I mean, like, she's like, when are we gonna be able to start enjoying like the rewards of all the hard work that he's done, you know, like, why can't he like just snap out of it and be like, okay, and I know that's not the same situation for everybody, but I feel like I've met people who are they're not as well off as my grandpa, and they're always on vacations, and they're always living happy, traveling, like, they work but they travel because they make it a point not only to believe that they can, but to make time and to like save money for it, and they have all these amazing experiences. And then there's other people who have the means and even have the time, but they're just so stuck in like work mode, and the fear of, if I stop working even for a little bit, like, I'm not gonna have like the means and stuff.
And some people, it's not even fear, it's just habit. Like, they can't get out of the habit of, I need to go to work. But
what's underlying that though, you know what I mean, like a fear, you know what I mean, like a fear, like, if I stop, like, well, I'm not gonna be.
I know someone who is so addicted to work because he started working at such a young age that now, like, I feel like almost
like work is his whole identity.
Like, he's just like, even like you said, like, even when he's on vacation, like, he's like, oh, but I have to think about this about work. Oh, this about work. Like, it always comes up. Like, it's almost like it's just it's their habit. Like, wake up, go to work, come home, go to bed, wake up. Which is fine, but like, traveling is definitely not for everyone. But I just saw like a quote. I don't remember specifically like exactly what it said, but it was pretty much like, what good is a long life if you're not living?
There you go.
And when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's so true. And I love that quote mostly because that's honestly how my dad lived. Like, my dad didn't live, I think, as long of a life as he should have. Yeah, and definitely deserved. But it was one of those things where when I was younger, like, people would be like, oh, like, you guys are rich and you guys this. And I don't even think we were rich. I think my dad just always saved enough to take us where he wanted us to go. And then he'd be like, well, I'm going to go work again anyways. Like, obviously they had their own business.
Like, work's always going to be there.
Yeah, like, he very much valued experiences over savings.
That's good.
And it wasn't every time, like, he saved enough to, buy his dream house and build a dream house, whatever. But I think he also definitely wanted to live a life full of experiences.
And that's beautiful because imagine if he hadn't, he would have
I think
passed.
Of that so constantly.
And you wouldn't have had those memories with him. And how many people out there and their parents do pass without having any memories because their parents just didn't have that kind of mentality, And not to blame them, obviously
no, not at all. Everybody has their own reasoning.
Yeah.
I like when people discover the beauty in being able to travel. Even here, like, we're an hour from LA, an hour from, just like so many beautiful places around. Even San Diego is gorgeous. There's so many places to explore that I think when people think of traveling, they're like, oh, well, I have to leave the country or I have to do this. And you really don't. Like, there's a city maybe like 3-4 hours from LA called Solvang. It's literally a Dutch city. It's built architecturally like a Dutch town, and it's freaking beautiful, and it's so like it's right here. It's something so accessible to somebody who's just like a day off and you don't have anything to do.
I think that I know it's easier said than done to get out of your own head and get out of your own way. Like fighting with yourself mentally, what you should be doing, like what you should be saving, or what I know it's hard because I've been there. Yeah. But I feel like lately the theme of my life has been to try to say yes more to experiences, to just say yes. Like, throw caution to the fucking wind. Like you said, jobs will always be there. Like, money to be made, opportunities will always be there. But, like, your time, your experiences, like, they're not always going to be there. Like, you never know. Life comes and goes fast. You never know when your last day on earth is going to be. And I feel like that's been really evident in my life lately, not just in the decisions that I've been making, but also I've been listening. Like, this lady was saying this story the other day, how there's been this challenge going around TikTok talking about like what's one small decision that you made in your life that changed the whole trajectory of your life. And I've been loving watching like all of those videos. I don't know if you've saw any, but this girl was talking about how she didn't want to wash laundry at her apartment complex one day, so she just went to a laundromat. Didn't want to wait for the laundry to be done. She got impatient, so she just went to like a pizza place next door. While she was there waiting for her pizza, she heard the owner of the pizza joint like complaining on the phone. He seemed frustrated, so she asked him like what was going on, and he just said that like a lot of people were ordering pizza for like takeout, but he didn't have a driver, and he was just like upset and frustrated that he had to miss out on like all this money because his business really needed it, but he just didn't have a driver. And she was like, well, I'll do it. Like, I have a couple hours free. Like, if you're willing to let me keep the tips, like, I'll deliver your pizzas. And she was like, that was so random. Like, she just said, I just had the time. I just felt like doing something kind, and I did it. And she delivered to this hotel. I guess they really liked her as a delivery girl. So, and then the owner of the restaurant, the pizza place called her like a couple of days later because they had exchanged numbers, because she told him like, if you ever need another driver in the future, let me know. Like, I have some time off, like I can help you out on my free time. And he called her and he told her like, oh, like the hotel that you delivered that pizza to the other day, like they really liked you, they wanted to offer you like a job there. And she was like, well, I guess I could, like I have a couple extra hours in my day, like I could help out. So she started working at the hotel. She met a regular that would go to the hotel often. They ended up falling in love and got married, and like literally like it's just like she just kept saying yes. You know what I mean? Like that's just what I kept thinking about. Like, she didn't feel like being home washing laundry at her apartment complex, so she just like, okay, I'm gonna go over here. How many people would have complained like, like fucking hate this, or let me go back into my house and not just do laundry today. Like, I'm so irritated.
Like, I'll do it another day.
Yeah. But she didn't give a fuck, went to laundromat. How many people could have gotten impatient, like annoyed, just sat there on their phone, complaining about how long the laundry was taking. She didn't do that. She said, I'm gonna go get a pizza. She just went to a random place next door. She overheard someone frustrated, an owner. She could have easily sat there and minded her business. Even after she asked what was going on, she could have been like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. And she was like, I'll help you, She just kept saying yes. She just kept being kind. She just kept being open to whatever possibilities, not being in her head about anything, not complaining, not trying to guess what it was going to play out as. She just kept saying yes and just doing shit. And like a video game almost, it kind of sounds like, if you think about her story, it's like, bro, like I try to put myself in that situation. I would have not gone that far, like at all. You know what I mean?
I think it's one of those things where like you're just trusting your gut. And I feel like now it's really hard to do that because you're so in your head. And I think now people overthink a lot more than I guess should be necessary, essentially, because overthinking is you're just stressing over something you're making up, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think in situations like that, it was more of like the universe really pushes you. Like you'll literally flow with the wind if you let yourself.
Yeah.
Like the universe is always going to be opening doors, and just if you're like, they're going to close once you pass them, but if you just walk in, like, it really
you never
changes
know.
Everything. Yeah.
Like, I love that movie, like Yes Man, with Jim Carrey.
Yes, I honestly, the whole time you were telling the story, I was like, I love that movie.
Dude, I love Yes Man. And I remember when I even watched that movie, I was like, damn, like, it's so true. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You'll just reach a dead end and you could go back to your regular life.
Yeah. But
imagine all the opportunities that could open up if you just said yes and didn't overthink things too much and didn't complain so much and didn't not even like have expectations. I also feel like sometimes I have expectations for how things are going to go, and when things don't necessarily go how I expect them, it kind of makes me like feel like a certain way. And
I think it's also how you approach everything, because like even like right now how you were like, oh, I'm sorry for leaving you, like I could have easily been like, oh yeah, you fucking left me. But obviously, one, it was your birthday, but even if it hadn't been your birthday, like it's one of those things where like you weren't rude, so why am I going to give you that rude energy when you weren't doing it to be malicious? You know what I mean? Like, and I could have had a shitty night or something. You know, obviously I didn't, not even close, but I'm just saying, like, in any situation, like, I feel like when stuff like that goes wrong, or like you said, like, it doesn't go as well as expected, like, you react like, oh, fuck. Instead of being like, well, you know, like, okay, well, how, like, what's the move now? Like, how do we change it?
Yeah.
To keep, like, that positive vibe. I think, too, like, when you go in groups anywhere, it's hard because not everyone is going with that mentality of like, oh, it's just gonna be chill, like whatever. I think that's why too I don't really get along with people that are very itinerary based, because I can like I'm like, no, let's just see where everything is gonna go.
Yeah, I get that.
But it also reminded me of the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I have.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You should watch it.
Is that with Steve Carell?
Yeah.
I think I've seen like the trailer, but I don't remember if I saw it. Maybe I have. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you like. If you're ever like, I feel stuck and I really want inspiration to push me out the door, I think that's a good one. And I love movies like that. They're just so sweet.
Yeah, I like that.
Steve Carell has another one that reminded me of this. I think I've talked about it before, but it's called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Yeah, you've talked about it. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it either.
But it's the same thing. Like the world's ending, and he's like, "Shit, I haven't done anything with my life." And like he meets a girl who's like so spontaneous and fun, and then they just go with the flow. It's really cute. It's really cute.
Probably gonna watch it then.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I feel like I want to start saying more yes to life.
And I think you have.
I've
been getting that energy a lot from you, and like even just like your little anecdotes that you told me, like I think you've been definitely pushing. Like if you felt like you didn't before, I think you've been doing it a lot.
I've definitely been trying, even if it's like baby steps.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to tell myself that I'm that person capable of doing that.
100%. I keep trying to convince her to go skydiving with me.
Oh God. Look, I was telling her, you guys, that I know I can do it. Like, I know I can. I just need someone to drag me there. Like if Stephanie were to tell me I booked this day, like this time, I'll be like, fine, like I'm locked in.
Okay, I'm gonna take this back, these gifts, and I'm gonna get a refund, and I'm gonna get you the skydiving trip. Okay.
Okay.
Or for Christmas, we do it for Christmas.
Okay, we can do Christmas.
I'm gonna go actually, probably tomorrow.
Really? With Sonia?
Yeah.
Damn.
I love Sonia. Sonia's such a yes man.
Yeah.
I love that about her. Yeah, but I feel like the last time I was at rock bottom in my life, I went skydiving. So right now I'm like, I really want to go. Like it's it does exactly what you want it to do. Like if you want to feel,
you feel invincible afterwards. Like you can do anything.
100,000%. Like there is I honestly think it's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure it is.
I really hope, because it's one of those things that I can't do that. You have to want to do it.
No, yeah, I know.
Like I can't take, even if I book it, like you won't do it if your brain is like, no, this is scary.
Yeah. I think I would.
Okay.
But no, I know.
Do you get on Drop of Doom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, then you should be fine.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I like rides. Like, I like roller coasters. Like, if it's anything like any type of drop or anything, like, I know the feeling of, like, free falling.
Essentially, it's the same thing. It's just because you're looking and you know, like, if this bitch doesn't open, I'm done for.
And I feel like that's the only thing that stops me, if I'm being completely honest.
But you're jumping with people who have been like in the Marines. Yeah, like they've jumped like hundreds of times out of an airplane.
Yeah.
So it does help.
Yeah. It just sucks because like I think about Ezra, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, like that makes sense.
What crosses my mind is really Ezra. I feel like if Ezra didn't exist, I would be like, well, I'm dying. I lived a happy life. It's a good way to go out, you know.
Yeah. But imagine how cool for Ezra, like when he's in school and he's like, yeah, my mom jumped out of a plane once.
And she died that way.
Bitch! I'm an orphan. Oh my God, you're hilarious.
That would be a cool way to be like, my mom, yeah, she died in her parachute malfunction, but you know, it's a cool way to go out.
Dude, that is so funny.
That I think about that, like,
But essentially that can happen to you, knock on wood, obviously, hopefully not, but that can really happen in any moment.
I know.
You're, if anything, more likely
to die in a car accident. Yeah, I know that. I know those odds. It's just something about missing being there with my son growing up is like absolutely terrifying to me.
You know what's funny? That feeling is exactly why I don't want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Because I have the fear of dying during childbirth.
Oh.
So that to me is enough to be like, man, like what if my baby lives and I fucking die?
Yeah.
Like that's horrible. That sucks. Now my baby's freaking has no mom.
But would you trust the people in your life to look after it?
Who knows? Who knows where I'll be then?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like it really, really scares me dying. I think dying during childbirth is so horrible, especially considering back then before modern medicine. Like I always think of the women that just really gave out because they had no way of surviving that. It's so scary. I think childbirth is under, what's the word? I don't think people fear it enough. I think they should.
No, yeah. I literally, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe when Ezra turns 18, you guys could go together.
Maybe. But then I'd be like, fuck no, because if something happened to my baby, I would kill myself.
But nothing's gonna happen. Mostly when people die in parachute accidents, it's when they're like solo jumping. And their parachute doesn't open. Because I think you have like 2 or 3 reserve parachutes when you jump.
Yeah. Oh.
So it's pretty, I think it's pretty safe. I would never go to Paris because I know Paris, California, guys. I know people have died there. But again, it's solo jumping. I went to Oceanside and it was amazing because like I wanted to jump somewhere where I could see the ocean. The ocean, yeah.
See, I'd be willing to jump into the ocean. Like, let's land in the water.
You know, you can, if you fall in the water, it's like you're hitting concrete anyways from that high, right?
No, I wasn't aware.
Yeah, even if you fall from that high, if you're hitting water, it's still gonna, your body's gonna hit like you're hitting concrete.
But I imagine that like, if the parachute at least is halfway out, there'll be some resistance.
So it's
you know what I mean?
So in a regular parachuting, your parachute's just not gonna open, but if it's over the ocean, it's gonna kind of open.
Yeah.
Take your sweater off and use it.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna have it in my waist. No, yeah, I do have like, you have a fear of dying in childbirth. I actually have a fear of just dying in general. Every time like I get sick or have a little pain or just anything, my mind goes to the worst. Anytime I'm having like a panic attack, whether it's on weed or not, my brain is like, you're gonna die. Like every time, like everything for me is always, you're dying, you're gonna die. Like it's never like, oh, maybe you're this. Like, no, I'm dying every single time. And I just feel like because I have that kind of energy with me,
oh, you're attracting
I just feel like there's just no way. And I just feel that way for everything. Yeah, I know it's not good, but I don't know why I feel that way. Any therapist watching this, please comment down below. Why do I feel this way?
And how did she get over it?
Yeah, please.
How did she move on?
Yeah, because
that's fair.
I don't know why I have that.
I think it's like you said, like I would love to go out in a cool way.
I wouldn't mind.
I would be annoyed if I would like, I mean, sorry to everybody who like dies this way, but like, you know what I mean? Like dying with a flu.
Like that's the most uncool way to go.
Yeah, like that's so uncool.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
How'd your sister die? Dude, she was driving and a tree just fell down the road, smacked her straight down.
That's so random though.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I want to go. I want to go somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Like even when I'm old, okay, I'm probably going to get criticized for this, but I don't want to do drugs. I am very curious on how they feel.
Yeah.
So I would love to be like 90 years old and like on my deathbed and I'm like, all right, just shoot me up some like
some heroin.
Yeah.
Some crack.
Yeah. Some the best shit you got.
Let's make this right enjoyable.
Yeah,
baby.
and then just like go out that way. Like that just sounds like a better way than slowly.
Imagine it just brings you back up. You're like,
everybody's all scared.
You were about to go already, see the light, and you're like, back to life.
Oh
like, haha, bitches, y'all got me for another 20 more minutes.
Shoot me up another one.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like
yeah.
that. Like as an old person, that sounds like a better way to go.
I've actually thought about doing drugs on my deathbed before. I don't know why.
Yeah, like I just think that's a cool thing. And everyone I tell, they're like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And I'm like, "You want me suffering?
Like y'all are no fun."
Yeah, like come on, dude. Come on.
At least let's get a little laugh out of this situation.
Like, let's have fun here.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started.
Literally, like.
Come on, guys. I'm not going to heaven afterwards. Like, let me just go out of here.
Let me have one last
hurrah.
Please. Come on, it's the last time we're going to ever get to party together.
Dude, I'm all alone. I'm begging a nurse.
You're like, please, it's in my purse. Just grab it.
Sorry.
That's hilarious.
I just think it's cool. Like, I would hate to be killed by, like, a bug.
Oh, that sounds crazy.
Like, that's not cool.
Like that guy that jumped, like that guy that ate a snail, and he got like a parasite in his brain and it killed him.
Dude, I actually just saw that. I don't know why anyone would, but it was like a video of a guy drinking the water from Disneyland. I don't know if you saw that.
He died?
No, but I guess it was like in the video it was saying like don't put your hand in the water in Disneyland and like don't obviously drink from it.
It's
nasty
disgusting.
Because it has like that brain eating amoeba.
Yeah.
And is it the same thing? Like essentially like that parasite, or what did it do?
I don't know, but he ate a snail and it was like it has parasites
it's just like
and
a random
shit.
snail.
Yeah, he was at a restaurant. There's a video of it
with
his friends.
God.
And one
I
of
thought
his,
like just off the street.
No, and one of his friends was like, "Eat it," like because it was like. There was like a little wall by their table and it was just like crawling right there. And he grabbed it and he fucking ate it.
Oh, it wasn't like part of the menu.
No, babes. It was literally just there.
I thought he was like at a French restaurant. And
no, literally. He was there and it just ate it out of dare. And then like 2 days later, he was in the hospital in a coma. Like,
oh my God.
They showed a picture. He was still hinchado, like all fucking like the parasite literally like fucked him up. And he actually lived for like 2 years after that. But he looked like,
all fucked up.
Like he was gone. Like his eyes like were just like
like he was mentally like brain dead or
not brain dead, like he was moving like in a chair but like he was like done. Like he looked
like he wasn't essentially like his
like I don't know what the parasite did to him, but he died like a couple years later. Like,
oh my gosh, that is so horrible.
I can't imagine what that friend that dared him to do that felt like after that.
Probably like that guy who asked the guy to jump off the boat, remember?
Yeah, like that fucking sucks. Like, because I know there was no like malintent. Yeah, like they're just being dumb and like do it, you know what I mean? But it's like,
oh my god,
damn, because like you just changed the whole trajectory of this person's life.
But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like
you decided to do it though.
Yeah.
But still, I would still feel shitty.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
as a friend.
I'm sorry. Like, I still would. Like, I know you said yes, but like, I would. Like, why the fuck would I even say that?
Exactly.
I would tell myself like, why would you say that?
Oh my god.
Why wouldn't you just
dare him? Regañándote in the mirror.
Like, why wouldn't you just dare him to like pay the bill or something? Like,
oh my god, that is so horrible.
No, dude, literally. But this other one that I saw recently was this guy was like at an abandoned mansion and the pool water was disgustingly dirty and they dared him to jump in the pool.
Okay, I did see that one too.
And he did. He made it. Like he.
Yeah.
But still, like that was rare. Like most people die from that shit.
Oh my god, that is so horrible. You know, actually, what I just saw, which not really, but it has to do with death, and it reminded me. In the Women's World Cup, this girl, she was for Spain. I think she scored the winning goal. And right, Saul? I don't know if you saw that. The girl from Spain, the women's soccer team, she scored like the winning goal, and she like lifted up her shirt and she dedicated it to her best friend's mom that had passed. But her dad had passed before the game. They just didn't tell her, and so they didn't tell her until after they had won. I think Spain won, right? Yeah, like they won the whole like World Cup, like the Women's World Cup, and then they had to tell her like after the game.
How did he die?
I think he just like I think he just dropped.
It was
out,
like
to be
sudden.
Honest. Yeah.
Oh, so she didn't see it coming. Like he was sick or something.
No.
Oh, that's sad.
That's sad, huh? I just think it's crazy that like she dedicated the goal to her, her best friend's mom that had passed, and then like that is such an insane, like unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
That is sad. R.I.P. to that man.
Dude, yeah. That's like, get out of here. Go ahead. Go on, get boy. I love talking to men like they're horses.
That's hilarious.
God. Which is funny because I hate when men talk to me like I'm a fucking animal. Like, Ben.
A man has spoke to you like that? Like,
yes, dude. As a waitress, they're fucking mean. I hate that.
Oh, that's annoying.
Or like when sometimes like I'm walking, or remember like on Saturday, they're being so annoying. The dudes in the car, and you're like, "Oh, we better get this all night," because we were the baddest looking bitches there.
Oh, when we were pulling up.
Yeah, when we were pulling up, and we were like,
yeah,
us sticking our ass
like
out. We're like, perverts.
This is a regular.
Our whole ass out. And we're like, what are you looking at, nasty?
Like my whole ass wasn't out. My jean skirt.
Oh my God. See, but in situations like that, it's fine. If you're just walking down the street a regular all day and someone goes, ugh.
I know. Do you think women deep down like it?
No, I think it's one of those things where like it's only not creepy if the person's attracted to you. Like if I turn around and a fine ass man just went, I'm gonna be like, but imagine a pinche feo, I'm gonna be like,
Un viejito.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that happens to me a lot at my work. Old men will hit on me and they'll be like, ay, como quisiera tener 20 años para salir contigo. Yo te haré mi novia. And then like they'll look up at me like a puppy dog and they'll be like, no saldrías conmigo, ¿verdad? And I'll be like, fuck.
What?
Dude, when I tell you that's happened to me already like 3 times with like just old men.
Just be like, ay, me recuerdas a mi papá.
I've told that.
Yeah?
I did one time. I said that to a guy. Yeah. But literally, dude, like I'm telling you, old men are just, it's just funny. You can't help but laugh at them.
Yeah, and I think old men are just like, they're like, man, fucking I'm old. Like, I don't even
like, I'm
have
about to kick the
shit.
bucket. Like, let me shoot my shot.
I like how every time you mention old people, you're like, yeah, you're going to die. You're like, you're done.
One of these got to give. One of these got to give it up.
Oh man, that is so funny.
One of those old men actually tipped me $100.
Yeah, dude. It's because sometimes,
like,
see, like in situations like that, you have to flirt.
I did flirt back.
Yeah,
I did. I'm sorry. And he was like, "Me das tu número?" Like at the end of the day, like when he was leaving, he was like, "Can I have your number?" in Spanish. And I was like, no, es que las cámaras me están vigilando y si le doy mi número es que lo van a tomar como que me estoy solicitando y me pueden regañar. Like literally, I was like, pero
is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not that strict though.
That's good to know.
That's not that strict though. You know, like I could.
Yeah, but like that's a good, because you could be like, it's policy.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's what I say. But I could have given it to him if I really wanted to. And I was just like, no, I was like, pero si no fuera así, I was like, sí se lo daría. No, dude, I really be like, no, if they're paying me, like shit, I'll give them money. He tipped me $25 again that same night, and then $30 again that night. Ooh. Dude, yeah, old man. I love my old man. I take care of my old men. But don't get me wrong, there's some old men that $1. Like one time there's one guy, he had $5, and normally they give me $5. Like, you know, a lot of people just give me 5s.
Yeah.
But he was grabbing it. I could tell he didn't want to give me a 5, but he didn't have change. And I had like my little like cup with like bills, and I was like, oh, I can give you change. Like I have change.
Aww.
And he was like, okay. So like I gave him like 5 ones, and he he gave me $1. He said he gave the $1. He was like, here, you deserve it. You work hard.
Wow.
And he gave me $1.
Honestly, it must feel so nice to be valued like
that.
I
was like, wow, $1 for my hard work.
Yeah. You really earned that shit.
Yeah, I really did. Like, it's a hit or miss, you know?
Oh
but God. It's funny.
It's like those things that I was telling my friends the other day that when I was a waitress, like they would give me like, they'd be like, I'm going to give you a tip that you've never gotten before. And they like would slide me like a $2 bill. And I'm like, bitch, like this is probably like the 5th one I've gotten. Like this is not special. Why do you think a $2 bill
Dude,
give me $100 bill. That's special.
Yeah, this girl once, this lady, she gave me a $1 bill. She was like, "Don't spend it. It's a star note." And I was like, "What the heck's a star note?" And she was like, "It has a little star next to like the number code." And she was like, "Look it up. Like they're worth money." And I was like, "Ooh, are these rare?" Like, and I was like, "Damn," because when I went back to the service bar and I looked at my other ones that I had for the night, none of them had the star. So I was like, "Oh shit! Like maybe it is like worth some money." I looked it up, $6. It was worth all that bitch. She's over here making it seem like, oh yeah, this is worth money. Like I just
she's
gave
like,
it
yeah,
to you.
$6, but you figure out how to get them.
Yeah, it might take you $5 to ship it out, but you know it's something. Like no,
that is so funny.
I swear to God, dude, the funny things that people say to me on this job are.
Dude, but sometimes people like today I went to get ramen and I tipped the guy like $5. But only because I remembered him, like I knew him, and I was like, "Oh, he's super nice, like whatever." And same thing, like I didn't have dollars, and I was like, oh, like I feel bad not tipping, so I'm just gonna give him a 5. And dude, he kept trying to give me free drinks. He was like, "Do you want another drink, like on the house?" Like he was just being super nice, and I was like,
He's
"Nah."
flirting with you, babe.
Maybe, baby girl, but I don't think he would have done that had I not given him the $5. But he was super nice. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, see, like he probably hadn't gotten tip or something. Or
yeah.
I feel like every time I got a tip, it just feels nice.
No, yeah, I do that whenever like guests at the casino like tip me nice. Like I'll give them shit for free that normally isn't. Like the hot chocolates, the cappuccinos, like Red Bull, shit like that is not free. But I can give it free if I wanted to. And when they do like nice things like that, I'll just be like, "Oh, what do you want?" Like I offer it to them, and most of the time they'll say yeah, and like, or instead of bringing like the regular like Yamava water, I'll bring like Fiji water, or I'll bring them like Icelandic or like Voss water.
I fucking love Icelandic water.
So I'm like, on the house.
Yeah, here you go, baby. It's all a cup of water.
But
with
let
ice.
me blurt this out before I go fired.
Oh my God. What book are you reading? Vanessa just got a Nook, guys, and
I love it. You know what? I actually bought this book called Unwrap Me, and it's a parody. It's supposed to be like a twist on like romance novels. So basically this guy was saying how every love story has been done between like vampires and werewolves and humans and like all these narratives from like supernaturals, but no one's ever done a love story between a mummy and a human.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, so it's like a love story between a mummy and a human girl, and like it's comedic, but it's also like cheesy and romantic, and it's kind of funny, and like I like it.
Oh my God, that sounds so cute.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I'm reading a book about a love story between a ghost and a girl.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute. That one's called The Dead Romantics. So cliche.
Yeah.
I love cliches.
Dude, I love just getting immersed in the book and like just reading it and just feeling like it's happening to me. I always envision myself as the main character.
You have to. Like you literally have to because there's no other way to read that. And I hate when people are like, it's not real. I feel like they put fake romance. And I'm like, no, you guys are just not good enough. So we have to make it up.
You guys just need to open up your imagination.
I just think as a man, if I were a guy and maybe I didn't have that much game or whatever, especially right now in the book talk era, bitch, pick up a rom-com book.
Yeah.
Like literally just pick one up, read it, and then copy that person.
Ooh, on that point, I saw this video that kind of shook me. It talked about how men say women have unrealistic expectations because they want like a man that's 6 feet tall and has like money to like support them. And they're like, you know, to men that's like outrageous, you know, because they can't control their height. And like, and if you want their money, then you're just like a gold digger, you know. But how many 6 feet men that have money are out there? Like a lot. You can think of a lot of 6 feet men that have money that are out there that exist. You know, there's a lot of men that fit into that narrative. They're not that hard to find. Yet men claim that they have realistic expectations for women, but they're actually the most stupid expectations ever. They want a woman that is like sexy all the time, but she can never be tired, but she has to pay half the bills, but she has to like bear children, but she can't have stretch marks, but she still has to be sexy and still have to have energy to fuck, but she still has to have energy to clean and cook and do the dishes and fold the laundry and do all these things, but she still has to be like mentally there and like have energy and like be fit and like, you know, but not be on them all the time and like lean on them too. Like they want all these things. Like they want like women to be super women and to just handle it on. Like how many women like fit that? Like that is like unattainable. You know what I mean? Like those are unrealistic expectations that men have on women.
And that women break their back to me. As
Literally.
opposed to men, like, not even just the height, just something as simple as, like, romance. Like, I think men are like, well, I'm not like that.
Yeah, so I'm just not.
Sorry, like, I'm just not like that. And it's more of like, okay, well, then try, because I don't know how to cook, bitch. Yeah, here I am burning all this shit, trying to put an effort. Like, what do you mean? Like, bring me a flower. It's not that hard.
Even if you just pick it outside. It's so funny. It's so funny because I saw this video and it said, like, broke boyfriends, unemployed boyfriends when, like, the new game drops. And he was like, and it's like just like a parody, and it's like he's being recorded and he's like, oh, babe, the new game just dropped, like, oh, and it just kind of sucks, like, my mom used to buy it for me, but, you know, she hasn't in a while anymore. And then he's something else like, oh man, you know, he like walked in the room with like some flowers. He said, babe, like, I picked you some flowers. I just feel like we haven't like bought anything for each other recently, so I just wanted to do something nice for you. And he's another one, he's like, oh, babe, like, if you give me the new game, can I just like pay it off, like doing some dishes around the house, like while you're at work?
But dude,
like,
that
shit
is
like
so
that.
fair. Like, that is, it's one of those things where, like, it's not what you're doing, it's what you're not doing. Like, it doesn't really, like, if the guy, whatever, okay, I'm gonna cut that off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody wants something from you and they give you something that you know they know you want too, it feels like a fair trade. It's not really like, oh, he's only doing it because he wants this, but you're still getting something out of it. I think when it's more consistent, it feels nicer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, babe, like, I need gas. Like, I just packed you lunch. Can you go put gas in my car? Or like, oh, babe, like, can you do the laundry or something? You know, something so simple as like bringing the flowers and then asking for the favor. Because I think when you're asking for a favor and you haven't really done anything nice, it just comes down to more of like, why am I doing it for this person?
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing all these things if they're not really making it up with anything else? They're just like asking and asking and asking. And I just have to give it because they're my partner. And it's like, you know, we live together. It's something that I have to do. But no le cuesta nada, like, bring me flowers while you're asking me to do something for you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's cute. Like, that's sweet. I mean, some people don't like doing that. But I think if you're going to be a dick, at least be a dick who brings flowers.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like, because a lot of my friends have boyfriends that I'm like, dude, fuck this guy. And then they like show up doing the most romantic thing, and I'm like, I guess, like, le trajo serenata, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
like, that's it's good enough.
Yeah, because there's men out there that are just douchebags.
Yeah, like, there's people who are mean, and they're just like, I'm mean and suck it up, bitch. Yeah. And there's people who are mean, and they're like, I kind of feel bad, whatever.
But they try to make it up.
Yeah. Like, it's because I don't know how to say it in English. Like, si no te... I don't even know how to say it in Spanish. I'm just dumb as hell. What's the word? I don't know. I can't think of the word. Pretty much like there's a word for like making it up for it. Like, con que te lo están... Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to take a moment. I literally can't remember what the word is.
It's okay. I think fine. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think.
I hope. I'm going to remember later and it's going to irritate the shit
Just text me when you remember. But yeah, it's tough out here because I also feel like when I think about, you know, men having unrealistic expectations for women, not only have they been conditioned to like just depend a lot on women for those kind of things, you know, but I also feel like they're resentful for having to be a man, you know. Like, I also feel like men are exhausted, they're depressed, they're confused, they're tired, like, you know, they're also lost in the world sometimes. And to kind of then have to add on top of pressure of having to look after a woman financially and, like, you know, I almost kind of feel like they resent that they are put out in society to be the ones that have to kind of be the rock for women when they feel like they can't even, like, let out what they have going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which kind of feels like... Which I can see why that leads them to kind of not want to do those things for women, to be like, oh, women, like, unrealistic, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's like, I feel like I've been blabbering a lot this episode. I can't gather my thoughts. But, like, pretty much, like, you know, like you said, like, a man comes home, they're super tired, and they still have to, you know, take care of their woman or whatever. I think when you sit and think, okay, but what has this person done for me? Even like a woman, like when a woman is, you know, their partner's being maybe not the best, or really they're in a really difficult situation in their relationship. When you're able to think back, like, what am I fighting for? Like, why am I doing this? Because if you look back and there's really nothing there, that's when I think the problems start to go more towards like, I'm resenting this person. Like, why am I doing it for this person? As opposed to like, if you both make it up to each other. Because I think it's one of those things where like, it's okay if you have to tell your partner, this is what I want. It's not okay if you have to constantly be asking for it. Like, if I tell you and now you start doing it, that's fine. I don't feel like you need to be asking so often. It's one of those things where like, okay, I know a game came out and I know she loves flowers, so I'm gonna get her some flowers because I think I would like in return like a gift. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. I don't know. It sounds bad, but it's just more of like people who trust each other don't see it in that way. You know what I mean? It's just more of like, oh, he bought me flowers, like something's up. But it's still nicer than just not getting flowers at all.
Yeah.
And it's not as morbid as it sounds, because when you're in a trusting, loving relationship and someone does something nice, it's not always like.
I just think, no, I understand like that perspective, but I just think this video was funny because it was more in the perspective of like a boyfriend that just like mooched off like his girlfriend.
Oh.
You know, like the kind of girlfriend that like your boyfriend drops you off and then he'll take your car and like waste your gas all day and like, you know what I mean?
I thought
like,
it was like a sweet
no. It was like one of those kinds of videos where the boyfriend is just taking.
Forget everything I just said.
It's just taking, and the girlfriend's just like there like a piggy bank for like these men. You know what I mean? But I understand like the perspective you mean though. I see what you mean. But
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me today.
You're good. But I do like going back to like men feeling like resentful like in like relationships. Like I just feel like men. I don't know. I just feel like even in women, like, you know how they say like feminine and masculine like energies exist in both, and they just like have to be in balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like maybe my life personally, I feel like I've been dealing more with feminine men because I am more in like in my masculine energy. I feel like, and I feel like I attract more feminine men, and I've been trying to kind of balance that in me so I can attract more masculine men because I want to be cared for now. Like I don't want to have to be doing the caregiving anymore. Yeah. And I just feel like men need to work on that as well to be better partners for their girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever. But I just feel that because I'm sure that the satisfaction that they'd get from providing, not just financially to their significant other, but like mentally, emotionally, like being there and like as a united, like in a united partnership, that satisfaction is going to be way more fulfilling than just shutting yourself off to the idea of a relationship just because you don't want to be, you know, just for you to be like, oh, like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to be getting taken advantage of or whatever. I'm just going to be alone or whatever. Like, you're not going to gain as much as you would if you would do the work internally to have like a healthy relationship that is mutually beneficial and loving in both ways, you know?
Yeah.
And I just see that often because I always just think it's funny when men complain about not wanting to do certain things. And sometimes with women too, like myself included. I know I could fuck around, but like I was raised with a dad who provided everything. So I'm not used to not, like, you know, when I've dated men who don't have that mentality, it always threw me off. But I always did have like an anxious like attachment style, so I felt like I had to give to receive. So I feel like the more I gave, like it'll make them want to stay, it'll make them want to be with me, it'll make them love me, it'll make them act towards me the way that I want them to. Yeah. But that it was always counterproductive because in me doing that, I wasn't letting these men actually feel like men, you know. They felt like I was their mother, or they felt like less than, so they didn't respect me, they didn't value me. I was just there to
like for their benefit,
fill whatever void they had. But
isn't that crazy too? Like having a good dad can also be like conflicting, or having a dad that's like present and giving. Because I always thought of that. I think I never really cared too much about men because I was like, well, I don't need you, I have my dad. Yeah. Like I don't think I ever gave, even like with Alex, I think it was really hard for me to call him and not my dad for a lot of things. And I didn't. I was always like, well, if my dad's going to answer, like, I'm not even going to call Alex. Yeah. So I think when my dad passed, that was really hard to kind of get out of that. Like, fuck, like, it was, I guess conflicting because I knew I could. I just didn't let myself. Like I couldn't believe that like this person wasn't going to do that for me anymore because he obviously wasn't here. But it did make me reflect on like, I really have always been like, oh, well, my dad's going to do it. Or, oh, well, my dad this, like, you know, and it's hard because you have to be able to ask for things. And even like my cousin, like, I would ask him like, why do you do all this shit for girls? Like, you're just dating, like, and you know, like first dates. And he tells me, he's like, cause they ask. Like they literally ask me, like, they're not gonna go out with me if I don't do this for them. And I'm always like, wow, like it really can sometimes be that simple.
Like the worst that can happen is no.
Yeah, and then you know that person's not gonna meet your needs, and you just move on, which most people don't. But
and I feel like, it's good, like, to start off being yourself, giving the answers that you want to give, saying the things you want to say, asking the things you want to ask.
It sets the tone.
Acting the way you want to act, because it's unrealistic for you in the long run to act a certain way in the beginning and then expect to keep it up. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people do that, myself included in the past, not anymore, but I remember I would act certain ways that were not like me because I thought that that's what I had to do to get this person. And then months down the road, the gimmick was up.
No, 100%.
And it's funny because my partners would do the same thing too. You know, like the honeymoon phase is over, the gimmicks are up, the, you know, true light starts shining on us, and you're just like, oh shit, like now we're really left with who we really are, because we're comfortable enough to be who we really are around each other now. And it's like, do we really like each other? Yes. Could we have avoided getting to this spot if we would have just been real from the beginning? And I think all that comes from just wanting to be loved, like wanting to have those connections, wanting to have someone there that we're willing to betray ourselves, and not just betray ourselves, but feel like we're not worthy of it, but just being who we are, so we don't show up authentically.
Yeah, of course. I think too, like in the beginning of my relationship, I would try to hide, not my crazy, but I would always assume that if I bitched about something too hard, or if I fought, like I already have pretty much like a, you know, it's hard for me to hold my tongue. But in real situations where like it's gonna create a conflict, I would be like, man, what if I say this and then they don't want to be with me anymore? Yeah. And it's hard because then you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And then the relationship progresses and you're like, oh my God, this is getting worse, like worse. And now I'm going to say, but now I have so much anger built up that even you didn't figure out to begin with, that it just creates like a way bigger problem that could have been essentially avoided.
100%.
Man, fuck, relationships are hard. They're super hard with anyone, but like, oh my God.
It really is.
Yeah, her struggling, guys. But we're surviving. Hey. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. We love you. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know how your day was. Let us know what your favorite thing about us is, because we're conceited and we like to read it.
We're Leos.